Before we get too far into our YouTube series, we wanted to talk about some projects we've done on the RV so far. We pretty much started, I think, the second time we ever took it out.
Yeah.
We started doing projects.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll go over kind of what our must-haves were. I mean, this was a brand new RV, so it didn't need a whole lot to make it livable or usable. But there were just some things we wanted to do to make it a better fit for us. If we keep looking down, it's because we're looking at our iPad. We have to have a list. We could just talk forever. But we made a list of things we wanted to tell you about because it's February now. We bought the RV back in August. So we've been doing this for 6 months, and every single time we come to the RV, we do something. We do some kind of little project.
Yep.
So we're keeping ourselves on track with this little iPad list. So I guess we'll start at the very front.
Yeah, let's start at the front and then work our way back.
Work our way back and then work our way outside.
It is cold outside.
You probably saw in our last video, we had a couch cover originally on this couch, and then we also have some seat covers that are still on our front seats. And the reason we did that is back in August when we bought the RV, we didn't know when or where our next military assignment was going to be, and we didn't know if it was going to be somewhere that we could take the RV or where that we'd want to take the RV and use it. So we bought this knowing that we could conceivably have to turn around and sell it almost immediately, maybe in a few months. So when we first got it, we do have cats. We travel with the cats. The cats are not declawed. So we wanted to protect the furniture as much as we could, just in case we did have to turn around and sell it. All right, so the second thing, if we're working backwards, is the work table. So it came with a little kind of oval table that you can use between the two captain's chairs when you have the seats turned around. And when I've occasionally had to work from the RV, that actually made a great little desk for me. The flip out desk is great too, but it's just like not quite the right height for me, and I can't like cross my legs, and I've just found that turning sideways and using that as a desk was a little more comfortable for me. So Josh actually has put together a nice larger surface table for me to use when we are here longer term, when we go full time in the RV. And that's going to be, I think, a little more useful than just the small oval table.
Another thing that we did was we installed a privacy curtain that separates the cab from the main living space. So a couple of reasons we did that is, one, for privacy, obviously. So we can leave the shade up for the cats because they love to sit in that front window, but still close it off when we're putzing around in our pajamas and don't want to have the whole RV park looking in at us. Yeah. And another reason is because Rachel uses this as her office. So if I'm home and then she still needs to do a conference call or close off the cats, or to do something a little bit more focus involved, and then she can do that, and she's not going to be distracted by whatever I'm doing in the back.
My coworkers don't see him making breakfast behind me. And then the third reason is that there's a bunk over the cab, so if someone's sleeping up there, that'll actually let them close off and have a little bit of privacy, and probably block out some light and stuff.
Yeah.
So. All right, so the next one is a big one. Our RV did not come with a fireplace, and we right now live in the DC area, so it gets cold, and we continue to use our RV while it's cold. We don't put it to bed in at the end of the summer. So a fireplace, always having to rely on the propane heat, or these our air conditioners also have heat pumps, but they're very, very loud, and they honestly don't work all that well.
Yeah, the way a heat pump works, it's only effective down to around 45, maybe 50 degrees. So winter here in DC dips below that for several months in a row. So
yeah,
that was kind of not.
We were already below 40 before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It
gets pretty cold here. So the reason we wanted to add a fireplace is so we could rely on our electric heat source. Yeah. So if you're plugged into your shore power, then that's just free power for you, and you're not using your propane. And if you're boondocking, you can still use the generator and run the fireplace, and you're not solely relying on just gas, because it's easier for me to make electricity than it is for propane.
Yeah, and it pulls about 11 amps.
Yeah. On high, it's probably around 11.
Yeah, that's right. On low, it pulls about 7, I think.
Right.
And then on high, it pulls 11. So you could conceivably run it when you were boondocking.
Yeah. And we have run this on battery power before, too.
Yeah. So Josh did a great job. We've got a little bit, so we eventually want to paint what we're now calling the entertainment center to look more like a piece of furniture instead of just like a built-in cabinet. So there is a small gap. The only fireplaces we can find, they're all a certain height, and you can't get any other height. There's one option, or I guess there's 2 options for height, and one was way too tall, and one was about a 1/4 inch too short to cover the opening where some cabinets used to be. So we went for the shorter option, and eventually when we paint this, we'll just add probably a piece of trim across the bottom. But for now, it's just filled in with some foam, and it doesn't bother us at all. So we use it all the time. We bought the RV in August. By Labor Day, we were wearing jackets in the morning.
Yeah.
So, we've 2 weeks after we bought the RV, we were already wearing jackets in the morning or at night. So the other thing that really helped with heat in the RV is our furnace is in the back of the RV. So it's basically under the bed, right? And the run, so our basement is heated, which is great because it keeps all of our pipes and stuff heated in the winter. And there are vents into the basement. Well, the living room vents are just right here beside the couch, and they're the very end of the line, which means that there is heat blowing. So as hard as it does blow, it barely comes out up here. And I mean, you're just barely air moving at all. And so when you're actually using the living room and it's cold with the furnace on, it's very warm in the back and it's cold up here. So you really needed either a little electric heater or you have to have another heat source up here for it to be comfortable. So the fireplace being right here in the middle of everything, it really keeps the whole front of the coach warm while the furnace keeps the back warm.
And we often use them at the same time. We'll define the furnace on with the fireplace on, and it keeps the entire RV at a pretty comfortable temperature.
Yep. So I keep wanting to say moving aft because I'm thinking about a boat, but moving towards the back of the RV, there's a couple of more things. So I bought a label maker I think maybe our first week that we had the RV. And we have light switches everywhere, and some of them control the same lights, and some of them are really odd and don't make any sense. So I still to this day have to look at what the label says. So I put labels on all the light switches, and that's been really helpful because there's one that's weird. The living room light is by the front door, and that's the only place that there is a light switch for the living room lights. And it's literally it's easier to access when you're standing outside than it is to lean, you have to go down into the stairwell. So something else I did pretty early on was shelf liner. So we have this big long cabinet run, and there's no separation, so it goes all the way from one side to the other. So you can imagine when you're moving, if you had something sitting here, that it could very easily slide all the way to the front if this isn't full. And it wasn't, and it still isn't full. It just has baskets in it.
The baskets help a lot.
It's going to be full when we move in full time, but for weekending, we end up like storing. Sometimes there's bedding up there for the couch. We just put random stuff up there just to get it out of the way. But yeah, I put shelf liner along the whole run there, and shelf liner in the kitchen cabinets, and a couple of other places where things might slide. I think I did a little bit in the bathroom. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I still have several rolls of it, and it comes in handy all the time.
So our pantry, what we're using is the pantry right now.
The coat closet.
Yeah, also doubles as the coat closet. But since our floor plan did not have a pantry, that's automatically what it got devoted to. And it only had 2 shelves in there. Yeah,
one shelf.
There's a shelf in the center, and then there's the bottom.
The countertop.
So we decided to add some more shelves to it. So Rachel just went on Amazon and got these adjustable shelf clips. Mm-hmm. And we went to Lowe's, and we got a couple of pieces of plywood, and I just measured it out and cut and just slid right in. It was really easy.
Mm-hmm. Something else that we did, and you can see it's sitting right here. We saw another YouTube channel that does RVing make this like portable bar, and like the day we saw it, we immediately had to go and buy a tool caddy from the hardware store and make this bar. One thing is, like, we go back and forth, so we didn't have a great way to transport things back and forth from home. But then the other thing is, sometimes you want to take your bar to somebody else's campsite, or
the beach.
Well, I don't know about glass in the beach, but conceivably there's other places you want to take your portable bar, other than just being able. I mean, it is helpful just to have it to be able to go inside and outside. If you want to set up outside, especially with COVID, and you don't want people coming inside the RV. We can set this up with some cups and some ice and some mixers, and people can make their own drinks. And then, it's been really great because with winterizing, we did take a lot of stuff home. So it was easy to just take it home and shove it in the closet out of the way. So
it'd be easy to take to the boat, too.
Yeah, easy to take to the boat. Anywhere you're allowed to bring alcohol and glass. So maybe we'll eventually get really fancy and get matching plastic bottles that we refill so that you can take it to the beach. Maybe that's maybe that's in the future. But for now, it holds what we buy, and we try to keep our bar in the RV kind of small so that because we can easily go overboard with all the different liquors and liqueurs and mixers, and this kind of contains it and makes us think about what we're bringing. And not bring so much. One other really cool thing is the pockets around the outside. You can store all of your tools. We don't have an RV set of bar tools yet, so we need to work on that. But this, you can keep all your little, your wine bottle opener and your bitters and little stuff can go in the pockets. This is the greatest thing ever. They should patent this and sell it.
I think I was at work when Rachel found this video, and she sent me this is an emergency text. We need to go buy this right now.
I'm pretty sure we went to the hardware store that night.
Yeah.
All right, the next thing is kind of an all around the RV thing, which is command hooks. And if you are an RVer, or if you know an RVer, you know that command hooks are gold. And I can't tell you, I've probably bought $200 worth of command hooks since we bought this RV. We use them for everything. You can see we still have some Christmas decorations up, but these teeny tiny little I think these are meant for Christmas lights. Yeah. But those work really well for hanging some decorations. The hooks on the wall, if you can see them, are the hooks on the wall were from our stockings where we hung them for Christmas. We use them for literally everything. I hang baskets with them. I put up our some little nightstand shelves with about 8 command hooks or command strips on the back.
Yeah. Our coats are hanging by the door with command hooks.
I did a whole line by the front door of hooks, and that's where even my winter coat, even though they say they hold 5 pounds, my big heavy ski coat that's knee length hung there for a week with no problem.
And not only that, we use the Velcro part too. Like I have a TPMS that I have just Velcro to the dash, and there was a code reader that I have plugged into the onboard computer for the engine that I have just sitting on the dash there. So they're pretty versatile.
And so the biggest one, like the one that I feel has the biggest like aesthetic difference in the RV, that isn't just like a piece of furniture or a blanket or something like that, is the backsplash in the kitchen. So this RV just had this, like the same wallpaper that you see kind of everywhere. It had the same wallpaper that's all over the rest of the coach, in the kitchen. There was no backsplash at all. And I just thought it would be a kind of quick, easy way to change things up. And also it's functional because it's easier to wipe off.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about it quite so much. If you splash it with water or something, you're not just like freaking out immediately to clean it up. So we went to, it actually came from Lowe's. I know there's a ton of them online that you can buy that look more like real tile, but I really like it. It's kind of like a squishy, like rubbery surface. And I want to say that the whole project, because I did have to go back and buy more, because at first I just did one row, and I left it like that for a couple of weeks, and then I decided that I wanted to do the whole thing, all the way up to the bottom of the cabinet, and then on the side where the refrigerator is, all the way up to the top of the wall. And I want to say it was about $150. Like, those peel and stick tiles are not cheap. If you're finding them for cheap, they're probably not good adhesive. I haven't had any trouble at all with this adhesive. It has not budged. It's not bubbled. I haven't had to like mash on a corner. This stuff is amazing. It stuck the first time. And I mean, it was a little bit tricky. Luckily that's a really nice area in that there's only one thing that I had to cut around. There's one rectangular outlet that I had to cut around, and that was really easy.
You did it with scissors, right?
Yeah, I did it, I used a combination of scissors and just like a razor blade, like a box cutter. And yeah, I didn't need any special tools or anything like that, and it was, once you kind of get like one row up, you figure out what you're doing, and it's not, the adhesive doesn't stick right away. It doesn't like permanently adhere the second you put it on, so you can re-stick if you need to. So once you kind of figure out what you're doing and you get into a rhythm, it goes really fast. I think the first row took me probably an hour, and then after that, the whole rest of it took maybe less than another hour. So
yeah, it looks really nice because that's the first thing that you see when you walk into the door, and it kind of also like separates the kitchen from the rest of the RV.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it breaks up but my biggest complaint about RVs is just like, in your house, you would never have like your entire house in one wallpaper. And so there's just, even though I like the wallpaper, it's not offensive or anything, like it's just so much of it. And so you need little pockets to break it up to just make it look more like home or like a house. And that really did the trick. I mean, instantly, like I said, $150, about 2 hours of my time, and it made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite thing.
It did make a huge difference.
Probably my favorite thing we've done. Maybe, well, tied with the fireplace. All right, so I'm editing this video, and we took almost an hour of footage while we were talking about all of our RV projects. So I think we're gonna have to split this into at least 2 videos. So we'll stop it here, and this is gonna be 10 RV projects, and there'll be at least another 10 in a future video. Thanks for watching.